because I know there are people who work tirelessly at this, and my thanks and yours should go out to them. It doesn't seem, when you think about it, that it should be that hard to get a vast majority of people in this country to admit publicly or support publicly the idea of decriminalizing the one drug that never kills anybody. But the reason why it is hard, I think, is, as David was pointing out very well, there is a vast silent majority, and I do mean silent, and it's up to us in this room who have commissioned ourselves to lead this battle to awaken that silent majority and tell them that they can't be silent anymore. I mean, the problem with this drug is complacency. It's not that it's too hard to get, it's too easy. Let me quote you Mr. Redman this month in Gear magazine. He said, "Yeah, I used to think let's legalize it so I can smoke all day, but damn, I smoke all day now." And that's the problem, is that the government is so ineffective and inconsistent that it lulls us into this sense of complacency, and we forget about the people who really are suffering, who are arrested for it. Keith is right. I'm here a lot because my friend is in prison and it hurts me. Not as much as it hurts him, but it bothers me a lot. It makes me mad. It makes me mad that so many hundreds of thousands of Americans are arrested. That is a big number. If that was a disease, people wouldn't stand for it. And you know, these are Americans. I understand that Americans are not real good at understanding or having empathy for foreigners. That's one thing. But these are your fellow citizens. And, you know, marijuana smokers have a well-deserved reputation of some really good qualities, like being tolerant and open-minded, and these are wonderful things. I just wonder if they haven't hurt us in this struggle, because we should be intolerant of the injustice that is going on. I want us to be more angry. You know, the Nixon Commission report was 30 years ago. And we're still here, and we still have to crawl into alleyways like criminals to smoke a joint. And those are the lucky ones who aren't in prison for it. It's the cancer of drug causes. Year after year, the carnage goes on, and we can't find a cure. But the thing is, it shouldn't be as hard as cancer. I mean, it is such a triumph of fear and ignorance over fact and logic that the drug that kills nobody is the illegal one. How would you explain that to an alien who came down? But I'll tell you why that is, and this is important. It's because everything in America is about marketing and image. A bad product, well apologized for, is always better than a good product. It's all about Madison Avenue, and the Mayor Bloomberg campaign was a fantastic beginning of getting at people's hearts and minds, but that is where the battle is won, and I think we have been reluctant because we are good people. Like I said, tolerant, open-minded. You know, we're like the Indians. We do not want to use white man's evil ways. But we're going to have to use the white man's evil ways. This isn't like the war on terrorism. We can't just win it by putting a flag on our car. So nothing changes in America without the cooperation of two shameless beasts, the media and politicians. And you have to put a human face on this. We have to put a human face on this. We have to do what everybody does, which is manipulate the media and politicians to do things in their interest, because they only do things in their interest. Long gone are the days when the institutions of the media and politicians felt they had a public obligation to do what's right. No, we have to appeal to ratings and votes. That's all they care about. How do we make it interesting for them? How do we make it profit them? Well, you know, if someone really wanted to make pot acceptable and they had the kind of money that they have for a McDonald's campaign or to put George Bush in the White House, you could make pot acceptable. You can convince people of anything. George Bush one day became a reformer with results. Imagine convincing people that George Bush was a reformer. Oh yeah, Gandhi, Martin Luther King, George Bush. That's who I think of as the reformers, the real skunk at the garden party. They called him a Washington outsider. Straight out of Compton, this guy, let me tell you. But again, his father was head of the CIA and the president. He's a Washington. Again, it's all how you market it. That is the key, is image. And unless we put a human face on that, unless people who don't smoke pot feel as affected by this as they do by something else they're not connected to. Cystic fibrosis. People don't have that, but they feel for the victims of it. Why can't we do that? We got to do that. The minds that could be turned if the media and the marketing machine got behind showing the true tragedy of so many lives. You know, we need to show on Stone Phillips reports the pot-smoking daddy who never came home. You know, the frosted lens and the news twink sobbing over the plight. That's what moves America. In America, you have to be a victim. It's a victim culture. And the irony is, some of these people really are victims. They're truly victims in a war that we can't win. We should be as offended as everyone else is in America for their bullshit causes. You know, when you hear someone support the drug war, be offended. You know, if they make a bad pot joke, that offends us. Having a little zero tolerance. I have zero tolerance for bullshit.